What's up, everybody? What's up? It's your boy Will Games 215 underscore in the building, and today I am here with um a different video. This is my favorite top five arcs in Eden's Zero. Um, I was sitting at work just like thinking, like, dang, like thinking about all like the past arcs that we've had so far in the manga, and I was ranking them in my head as to like how I enjoyed them. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna make a video on my favorite arcs, why they're my favorite arcs, and I'm gonna upload it, and then I want you guys to tell me what your favorite arcs are and why you enjoyed them. So without further ado, we're gonna get into this video. But before that, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you are new and if you enjoy the content. Let me know down below which your favorite arcs was, and follow me on Twitter, WillGames215 underscore YT. Let's dive on in. So, number five. There, like this is like my favorite. Like, this is not ranked into like which arc was better. Like, these are like my top five favorites. Let me just, like, reiterate that, because I don't want people in the comments like, you chose this over this. Like, these are like my top five favorites. So number five, I'm gonna go from bottom to top. So number five is the Skull Fairy mini arc. I call it a mini arc because it was not that long. I think it might have been like 3 or 4, maybe 5 chapters. It wasn't like a long standing arc. But this arc is really underrated, because of this low key set up us getting the, well, not us, but them getting the Eden Zero, and it also set up introducing the 4 star shines, who we need to get through who we needed to get through the Dragonfall. So we start this arc off with I like wrote some notes and stuff on my computer. So if I'm looking this way, so I'm looking at. So we start off with the crew basically getting captured after they left Norma. Yes, they left Norma, and this is when we get Vase, and the crew gets captured, and once they get on the ship, they're instantly attacked, and Shiki goes directly for Elsie. Um, this arc was really good because we got to see Shiki versus Elsie. Then we got to see Vase and Rebecca fighting off the many slimes that were surrounding them, and actually captured them at one point. And we got the funny moment with Rebecca saying, "What is this? Like some kind of slime porn or something along the lines of that." And then Vase like, "Let me capture this moment for my memory." And then her getting out, and then him getting captured, and then she returns the favor. So I like the comedy, and my bad, y'all, I'm fixing my shirt. But I liked the comedy aspect of this arc. It was really funny. And then we got a good fight out of this arc. We got Shiki versus Slime Elsie. And this fight is also underrated only because now we know how powerful Elsie is. So to see Shiki struggling with that fake Elsie kind of let us know like where to gauge Shiki in these type of fights. And I believe he used not a full version, but he used his overdrive. This is when he first used it, and this brought the attraction of Justice, Creed, and Victory. And y'all, give me props because I just remembered their names. If you have been watching my videos since I started doing Eden Zero reactions, I'm bad with names. Like, if you are not part of the main cast, I probably don't remember your name. Like, which is bad because I really should remember a lot of characters' names. But yeah, and then we see Shiki use like his what was it? It was like Meteor Comet or something like that he used to defeat the slime, but he didn't know it was slime at the time. And Elsie appears on the screen and says, I'm way stronger than that slime. But this was a test to see if you were strong enough to get the Eden Zero, which was your grandpa's ship. And then they get Witch, and then Witch uses her ether, aka magic, and wipes all the slime off the ship. And then that's when we get the introduction of the 4-star shines, and they're needed to go to the Dragonfall, and how they travel with the Ziggy, and how they remember Shiki from when he was a baby. Next, and if I forget something, y'all can also let me know down in the comments below, because I didn't want to go over like the entire arc. I just wanted to point out the moments that stood out to me that really made me enjoy the arc. So if there's things that I forgot, you guys can let me know in the comments down below. Number 4. I absolutely love this arc, but the only reason it is number 4 is because I kind of enjoyed the other arcs above it a little bit more. But this, at the time, was my favorite arc. Gilst. Gilst was a really good arc because the crew just left Norma. They fought Cyber, or however you say his name. Then they got the Eden Zero, and they had their fight on the ship. Then they go back to Blue Garden, I believe. They go to Blue Garden. And when they go to Blue Garden, this is when things start getting into motion, because they go to the guild, and Rebecca, from the girl with the glasses, whose name I forgot, she tells Rebecca that the master wants to see her. Boom. That kicks off the arc, because Rebecca goes to see him, and Shiki goes to, look around. Also, Vase left, and he also was looking around. This is when we see Labilla again. She is approached by Jin, who later tries to kidnap her. Now, Shiki, even though he does not like Labilla, he rescues her stops her from being kidnapped. And this is when we get Shiki and Jin's first altercation. Loved it, loved it, loved it. When I saw Jin's design and when I saw the fight, I automatically knew Jin was going to be a reoccurring character. And I even remember saying, this is before I made videos, that Jin would join the crew. And then, like, later on, as the arcs transpired and went on, I kept saying Jin would join the crew because the crew needs fighters. I know fighting isn't everything. Some people have certain skill sets for everything. But right now, at the moment, you have Shiki and Homura as your main fighters. You only have 2. The 4-star shines, they can fight, but that's not their main focus. Hermit is the hacker, and she's the maintenance for the ship. Witch is the defense. Sister is the healer, and then you have Valkyrie, who was the fighter, who aka is Homura. So when I saw Jin, I'm like, yeah, he needs to join. So Shiki stops him from kidnapping Labilla. Then after he does that, he finds out Rebecca's been kidnapped. Then we're introduced to Homura, who says, I heard you're looking for the 4-star shines. I overheard you. Allow me to join you guys. Random. Super random, because we don't know what Homura's connection with the 4-star shines are and who she even is. So her just like, I'm coming with y'all. I'm looking for Valkyrie. Shiki being Shiki, of course, join us. Like, why not? Like, so then we find Rebecca on the ship with a bunch of B-cubers. She's rallying them. They try to escape. Then she's met by Mr. Frog, whose name I forgot because he was a complete freak and creep. And they have a little altercation, and in comes Shiki for the rescue. He's defeated. Then we have Shiki versus Jin, another fight that I absolutely love. They fought on par. Their fight has never fully concluded, if you guys have noticed. He's like Natsu's Gaju. So, and they fight. For some reason, I feel like the fight did not conclude, or I feel like... No, the fight didn't conclude, because at this point, we're introduced to Moscow is sent to the church where Vase and Homura are fighting the mercenaries from the fake sister who was also introduced in this arc. And part of the other reason why they went to Gills was for Rebecca and for a sister. And then we find out that she's not the real sister. Vase and Homura have found the real sister, and they pretty much killed the fake sister. And we get Sister, who is my absolute favorite character. I freaking love Sister. Nobody tops her. She's hilarious. She's strong. She's into dominatrix. Sister is everything. I'm a Sister fan boy. I don't care. Like, I don't care, bro. Sister on the screen all times. Okay. Oh, then we get the chronophage. We hear about the chronophage in Norma, but we actually get to see it. So it looks like a dragon. And it eats time and reverts it back to when Gilst was nothing. And then we find out, bam, guess who is in control of Gilst? This also sets up for Draken. So we get chronophage eating the planet, and then that's the end of the arc. And Sister joins. My third favorite arc. This is an underrated. I feel like this is when Eden Zero started to really gain steam. My third favorite arc is Sun Jewel. Now I know people are probably gonna be like, "What? You have Sun Jewel at number 3?" Yes, I have it at number 3. On like, I love this arc. I love this arc. A lot of things happen in this arc. We get a lot of emotional moments out of this arc. We get the reveal Homura was abandoned by her mother, and Valkyrie raised her and taught her to never hold your feelings and speak them out loud, which is why she has her gag where she's thinking she says something but she's saying it out loud. Then we find out her mother is the like overseer of Sun Jewel, and Sun Jewel is made up of the upper echelon. I probably said that wrong. I apologize. And then there's the bottom tier where the slaves and the people in debt are. Another reason I love this arc is because we get the beautiful moment of Rebecca, Homura, and Shiki fighting the crystal monster. I love this moment. I love Rebecca stepping up and doing what she needed to do to help in that fight. I love it. Then we get the backstory of Valkyrie, because we meet her student who has like this weird hands ether gear, and he's like stealing Rebecca's panties. He could take the collars off. We're introduced to Coronai's 4 fighters that she had. Only one who's like really memorable to me is Nino. Like, Nino was such a good character. I feel like he was. I think he's like a real YouTuber or something, and he was Mishima puts him in the manga. His fight with Rebecca, I actually like that fight because that's when she unlocks her ether gear, but she does not know the full potential of the ether gear. She just thinks it's speed based. So she fights Nino, and that was a good fight for Rebecca. Then we have Vase, his fight. He's fighting. Who did he fight? He fought the lion. I want to say his name was like Orc or something, and he was fighting him with the axe. And this is when we get introduced to Arsenal. So this is when Vase steps up, and he's getting into fights, which now we see on Farista when he used his arsenal. He says it has a lot of wear and tear, which I don't understand because he should be able to use his ether gear to repair it. But I mean, hey, that's just how mangas are. Like, and then we get the sad, shocking revelation that Valkyrie's dead. Homura never got to tell her that she's her parent. She loves her. She appreciates her. She's super thankful for everything that she appreciates, like everything that she taught her. Then we get Shiki fighting Koronai, who he went ham because we know Shiki cares about his friends, and for him to see a parent not give a damn about their kid sent him into another level, and he had to learn, adapt, and redirect in a fight against Koronai, whose machine was just a little bit stronger than him, but he overcame it, defeated the machine, and then he brought her down to face Homura. And then we also get the moment where um, Homura is fighting the guy with the whip, and it kind of died, and it was shown, which is this is when Eden Zero started picking up like steam. Like it was good, but it started to get really, really good. Like even before this arc, it started to get really, really good. Like, but this is my third favorite arc. I loved it. I know you're probably gonna think my second favorite arc should be number three, and then like this one should be number two. But I'm gonna tell y'all why. My second favorite arc is Digitalis. I love this freaking arc so much to the point where I can reread it and then I will still be shocked. I'll see new things. Like, I love this arc. Like, I know y'all probably like, why is this your number two? I'm gonna tell you why. This arc was so dark, and that made me love it. Because when you think of shonen, you don't always get the stuff that was shown in this particular arc. You don't get those dark moments, except for Jujutsu Kaisen, which I'm actually reading, and I was watching the anime, and it's kind of making me want to read the manga. Jujutsu Kaisen is so dark, and there's like a imminent sense of danger. Like when Yuji fights, you think like, oh my god, he could die. When other characters fight, you're like, whoa, like this could legit go. It's like 50-50. So except for the one character who we all know, boy with the eyes, like, I forgot his name, but he's really, really dope, the teacher. So like there was a sense of danger and like darkness in this arc that really made me enjoy it. And we also remember this was the setup to Draken as well. This was another setup. Gilst, Digitalis, and actually Sunjewel were setup arcs for us to not get introduced to Draken directly, but to get to know his reputation. Because if you remember, he had ties to Gilst. That was kind of like his domain. He had ties to Sunjewel through Koronai, if you remember, and he was supposed to be selling her something, or she was supposed to be buying something off him, and she tried to double cross him, and that's what ended up happening to her. And then we get the Digitalis, who Jamilov was working with Draken. So that's why I love this arc. It's so like him killing the NPCs and having like the moment that stands out for me with this arc will always be when he had the NPCs stacked on the spike, and Shiki saw it and went like ballistic. Because to him, everybody, it doesn't matter if you're robot, NPC, human, whatever. Shiki is like, I like you. I want to be friends with you. He respects everybody. So for him to see them hanging like that, he went off, and he could not beat him because Jamilov was a hacker. So his stats were way too high. So the damage Shiki was doing was not really doing anything. And this is when we get the backstory to Hermit, who was on the planet. This is another reason why they went to Digitalis. So we get the sad, disgusting backstory of Hermit, how she wanted to be friends with humans. She was working with them. She was doing everything with humans because she wanted to have a relationship with them. They turned on her. They turned on her. They experimented on her. They tore her body apart. They left her broken. They left her battered. They left her hating humans. This was like the feels that you get from watching Hermit have to go through these things. is like, damn, this is really making me love her character. Like, bruh, like, then we're introduced to Amira, who's part of the Galactic Intelligence Agency. Like, bruh, like, great arc to me. And I'm pretty sure y'all know what my number one arc is, because I feel like this is everybody's favorite arc. The Belle Gore arc. Where do we begin? When I was talking about that sense of danger, that was this arc to the T. Low key, Shiki should not have beaten Draken. He should not have beaten him. And technically he did not, because technically he died. The main character died. That's right. He died. This arc had everything. This arc started off with a jump to the future. Shiki's dead in the future. Who's alive? Rebecca. Who else is dead? Happy. That's how this arc starts off. Rebecca wakes up. Now that we know what her ability is, she leaped to the future. Normally, she can only leap to the past. I just caught that. She leaped to the future with her cat leaper ability. Yes, she did. Draken calls her number 29. Then he calls her number 30. This is after Shiki versus Jin. He's reintroduced. The fight, Jin is on another level, which means he could have beat Shiki back at Gills. Which means Shiki really has been weak since the beginning of the manga. He was fighting scrubs up until he runs up into... This is when you start to see where Shiki needs to be able to contend with certain people. I say that because Shiki automatically gets done in by Laguna. Automatically. I mean, yeah, there was a condition. Tears, he turns you to water. Then Vase has to defeat him, but barely defeats him. Only to get sniped and shot. Shiki couldn't do nothing about that either. They had to run. Only to... This is when he fights... This is when they sneak in and they fight Jin. This is when he fights Jin. But who else gets into a fight and has... What the I forgot what Homura did. Let me know in the comments down below. I feel like she was the one trying to deflect the bullets from Fee. I remember him. Like, how do I remember this? I could not remember his name for the longest. Fee. The fire ether gear guy. Then we get Rebecca versus Colleen, who I knew she had no chance against. But to see her step up and try to fight her, commendable. Then we get Homura versus Colleen. Homura gets defeated, which I was really surprised by, only because it was a bad matchup. Then Shiki gets defeated. Then Vase gets his arm cut off. Then Shiki gets killed. Then Homura is captured. Then Rebecca is captured. Labilla's captured. We find out. We don't know how. We don't know why. We don't know how or why, but she's captured. Then she escapes. Almost gets caught. Ether gear activates. Cat Leaper goes back in time. Arc restart. That first half of the Belle Gore was absolutely 10 out of 10. Second half, it kind of dipped off for me, but it was still super, super good. Because we got character development from Homura and Rebecca fighting they didn't need any help from the guys. Boom, they doing what they doing. Boom, Amira's reintroduced. Boom, Vase's backstory. We found out Drake is the reason his mother's dead. Boom, we found out Drake is like 100 or something years old, or like 500 or some shit. He's just old. He has alchemy. He's destroying Shiki completely, showing him you're not on my level. This is what the Erosion says. This is how strong we are. And you think you can defeat us. Shiki had a lot of fighting to do. He has a lot of growing to do. Even on Farista, he could do nothing to justice. Nothing. If he could do nothing to justice, how do you think he could defeat Draken? They had to sabotage his ether machine that was keeping him young. And we get the 4-star shines versus the Elemental 4. Another dope fight. Off screen, I wanted to see Witch versus Laguna, but it gets off screen because we already know her abilities. Then we get Fee versus Hermit. Hermit did her thing. Then we get with my sister, base sister versus Dachi, who likes to torture people. What does sister say? You've been not torturing for 5 years. How about me? I've been not doing it for 10 or it's 15 or 20, whatever hers was higher. She demolished that boy. Demolished him. Then we get Homura versus Colleen Part 2. Fight kind of goes similar to how their first fight went. Wait, no, she didn't fight her the first time. Rebecca fought her. She didn't fight her. I swear she fought. I don't think she fought Colleen the first time. She fights her this time. The second time. Yeah, she fights her the second time. They go to the belly gore. And she ends up winning. But I still feel like that fight, like Colleen was a bad matchup for Homura. But Homura ends up winning. Then we get Vase and Shiki versus Draken. Vase goes crazy because he says, "You're the reason my mother's dead. You're also the reason my past self does not have an arm." Because if we remember, every time we've seen the old Professor Vase, he has a mechanical arm or hand. That was a great arc. I loved it. And it was a great end to the Sakura Cosmos because Draken had a hand in every arc. Honorable mention, Midland Coliseum. Love that arc. Another mini arc. They all got their fights, which prepared them for their fights on Sun Jewel. That was a great throw-in from Mishima. That's an honorable mention. I love that arc. But not more than these. And we got introduced to Zhao Mei in that arc. This needs to be on my list. That might need to be number 5. I might have to, you know what I'm saying, do like an honorable mentions video or something. But yeah, those are my top 5 favorite Eden Zero arcs. Let me know down below in the comments what your favorite arcs are. And it's your boy Will Games 215_ in the building. And I am out. Peace, everybody. Haha.